I want to talk to you about Clio versus Actionstep. Of course, we are comparing and contrasting legal management software. So here's the overview I want you to pay attention to. So one thing for sure, Actionstep seems to be more expensive to implement than Clio, and Clio is rated higher than Actionstep when it comes to overall customer experience, okay? And both tools offer the same amount of features, and I'll go into the details here. And so let me quickly talk about Clio. So Clio, the thing with Clio here is that Clio provides a full suite of web-based practice management tools targeted specifically at the administrative needs of sole practitioners and small firms. So when you think about Clio, think about solos and smaller firms. So solos, micro firms, and small firms. So anything below 50 lawyers, you are looking at a small firm. A micro firm, in our analysis, is a firm that has fewer than 5 attorneys, okay? And that basically covers a state, a county, or a city. They rarely do, a micro firm rarely does cross-state litigation, okay? So Clio provides a full suite of web-based practice management tools that really target those constituencies. And Clio is a single resource that eliminates the need for multiple specialized applications by incorporating the principal talents of each. So basically, within Clio, you have integrations, for instance. So what Clio doesn't really provide, they actually cover it through integration. So they have an open API. In other words, they are giving you access to third-party apps through their platforms, through their API, so you can actually connect third-party apps to their platforms directly. So that's kind of cool. So if you take an example, if you look at QuickBooks Online, so Clio doesn't do accounting, so there's no native accounting feature within Clio. What they do is they kind of offset that sort of lack, the sort of absence, through a direct integration to QuickBooks Online. So this is what it is. What about Actionstep? Actionstep is a complete business management system delivered via the cloud. This is ideal for professional services firms, especially those with compliance or workflow needs. And Actionstep is a business management system that will take you to a lot of levels depending upon the configuration that you have. And all kinds of firms will appreciate Actionstep. Large firms, small firms, medium-sized firms, and so on and so forth. Boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. Let's talk about pricing. Who is more expensive, Clio or Actionstep? I want to first show you on the screen here. Here is the pricing for Clio as of the date of this show. So Clio has 4 data sets, or 4 pricing tiers, if you will. You have the easy start, the essential, the advanced, and the complete, right? Let me show you now the pricing for Actionstep. You see on the screen here. So Actionstep basically wants you to contact them. So Actionstep is less transparent, if you will, less transparent when it comes to pricing than Clio. So you have to contact Actionstep to get the price. But based on our research, Actionstep is more expensive than Clio because we actually reached out to them. They give us some numbers, okay? And the Actionstep has 3 pricing tiers. You have a trifecta: the Practice Pro, the Practice Pro Plus, and the Premier. Now, of course, the Premier is where you get the juice of like everything within Actionstep. But if you are let's say a small to medium-sized business or medium-sized law firm, if you will, it's just better to go with the Practice Pro Plus, because basically here you are able to see the return on your investment, and you can scale from there. Okay. Now, if you were to ask us which one is more expensive, we would say that Actionstep is more expensive. And Clio, of course, Clio is known for many months, if not years, for its not quote unquote Catholic sort of pricing practices. So they actually like the prices you're seeing on the screen here, $39, $69, $99, and $129. Those are not the prices that you will pay. You will end up paying because they do have add-ons, and when they add those add-ons to your bill, you'll be paying more. Having said that, Clio is still cheaper than Actionstep, because the number we have seen from Actionstep, we just cannot publish those numbers on the screen because they did not allow it to do so, and they don't publish their own numbers. But we can just tell you that from a TCO perspective, So we're talking about total cost of implementation here, or total cost of of onboarding. Actionstep, the price starts at 89 bucks per month. If you compare that to Clio, that starts at 39 bucks per month. So, right then and there, you see the difference. Plus, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about Clio versus Actionstep. Let's now talk about the features here. So which software includes more or better features, okay? And so when you think about Clio, there are some quintessential features you need to pay attention to. So you have time and expense tracking, you have billing and invoicing, you have document management, you have time tracking, task management, vendor client portal. So that's for Clio. And so basically you having like an all-in-one solution here, okay? And this is kind of cool. Again, going back to what I said, the target audience here for Clio, we are looking at what? Solos. We're looking at micro businesses. We're looking at small businesses. When we think about Actionstep, we think about everybody, every law firm, from solos all the way to large law firms. Okay, so Clio, you have it. Those are the features. What about Actionstep? With Actionstep, you have document management, task management, billing and invoicing, contract management, expense management. And it's really important to understand that the expense management feature that you have here within Actionstep, you don't have it within Clio. Clio they will hook you up, quote unquote, hook you up to a third-party app through their open API. That's how they are going to solve the lack of native feature, the native feature within their system. Okay. But so what Actionstep has natively, Clio lacks. So so it's one of those things you have to, it is what it is. And so in terms of the target customer size, Clio legal management software serves a range of customers in the legal industry, from solos to medium to small firms predominantly. There are rare cases where medium-sized businesses and large law firms, if you will, also would enjoy Clio. And so this is what it is. But so even if you have multiple locations, you will enjoy Clio also, because Clio actually is cloud-based. Same thing for Actionstep. Same thing. Let me talk to you about the specs here. So what are the specifications that you need to pay attention to when you actually consider Clio versus Actionstep? I want to first talk about Clio. So Clio, I have already established that the starting price for Clio was what? 39 bucks per user per month, right? Mind you, we're talking here about annual billing. So the annual billing, 39. If you were to go with monthly billing, month to month, you probably could be paying 49 or 49 to 54 bucks per user per month. Okay, so Clio basically remains, for all intents and purposes, a law practice and legal case management solution for businesses of all sizes, even though it predominantly focuses on solos all the way to small businesses. And so, but Clio is pretty strong when it comes to time and billing management, reporting, case management, and security. This is kind of cool. So we're speaking here about very important categories, okay? So billing and invoicing, strategic planning, communications, document management. So what about Actionstep? So Actionstep, for them, the pricing starts at 89 bucks per user per month, and this is billed annually. If you were to go with the monthly billing, expect to pay 100 bucks per user per month. So Actionstep, for all intents and purposes, based on our analysis, remains a web-based practice management solution for small and medium businesses, and it really offers automation of business processes and management of projects and clients from anywhere. So this is the big distinction, if you will, between Clio, and Actionstep. So when you think about Actionstep, think about billing and invoicing, strategic planning, case management, project management, document management, records management. So you don't have the project management natively integrated within Clio. For you to get project management within Clio, you're going to have to go through a third-party app, maybe get Zoho Projects or Monday.com or any other project management tool to sort of complement that. But you do have it natively within Actionstep. Also, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about what? Clio versus Actionstep's legal management software comparison. Let's talk about the specifications here. So what are the specs? What is the value added? How does Clio add more value than Actionstep? Actionstep. Let's talk about that. So when you think about Clio, I want you to think once again that you have to think about the fact that pricing, Clio is affordable, if not cheaper, than Actionstep. Okay, and Clio actually does a great job in the category of legal management. In other words, Clio is looking at your entire law firm, not just the aspect of let's say case management or matter management or Clio is looking at the whole firm. And pricing starts at $39 per month per user if billed annually. And Clio actually targets solos all the way to small businesses, even though they want to really target the whole 9 yards. They want to cover the whole conundrum of a business, of not the whole conundrum, the whole gamut. That's the word I was looking for. The whole gamut of law firms, from solos all the way to large firms. Okay, but based on our research and empirically, we have seen that solos to small firms constitute today, at least as of today, the core of Clio's customer base. In terms of the platforms on which Clio is available, you have desktop for sure. You have mobile, and you have cloud. Now that cloud-based functionality is really important because that gives autonomy, a certain level of autonomy to lawyers all across the world, not the country, all across the world, because you can have lawyers actually working from home, and they don't have to come to the office to log into Clio. They can just log in from home, as long as they have a valid and active internet, in the internet connection. They should be able to actually work from home. So this is really good. So we love the fact that Clio actually has done a great job in terms of revamping recently their user experience, their interface. They have actually improved a little bit their user experience. They used to be like back in the days, like before COVID, they were actually struggling in terms of UX and UI. But nowadays they seem pretty good in terms of those two elements, UX and UI. Let's talk about Actionstep. So what are the specs that you can actually think about when it comes to Actionstep? Right off the bat, I want to say that in terms of pricing, Actionstep is more expensive than Clio. Okay, and this is because Actionstep Actionstep does offer way more than Clio. Because remember, Actionstep has accounting, CRM, and project management. So when you think about Actionstep, think about an all-in-one solution, okay? And Actionstep seems to focus more on small to large firms. So if you are a solo, you're not going to enjoy Actionstep that much. Let's just say it that way. And one thing I also need to say here is that when we talk about the specs that we have to pay attention to, you are not going to get like if you don't have multiple let's say many lawyers working from multiple locations, you may not get Actionstep. You may not really enjoy Actionstep because some of their project management features, you will not be able to use them. Some of their internal communication features, you will not be able to use them. And so the typical customers of Actionstep are SMBs. We're speaking about small to medium-sized businesses, okay? Especially those small businesses that are on a growth path. And in terms of pricing, I told you before, you are starting at $89 per month. But it's really important to understand that the Actionstep really kind of help you scale faster. So from a scalability perspective, Actionstep is better than Clio because Actionstep offers, let's say, qualitatively and quantitatively a larger number of features and a more varied number of features. And you can actually avail yourself of some of the features to grow. And again, we're not speaking here only about law firm management. We were talking about other stuff like client relationship management, for instance, project management, for instance, document management, for instance, document automation, for instance. So you have a large array of operational arenas where Actionstep has capabilities, not only capabilities, but native capabilities. In other words, capabilities that you can get just by getting the software without a third-party integration. So it has that way more than Clio. Let me talk to you about the extras here. So when we talk about the extras, I really want to quickly wrap up today's conversation by actually dwelling a little bit on the prominent features that you get in either software tool. So you can really have a clear idea about the decision making process you should be starting to actually engage in right now, right? So let's first talk about Clio. So Clio has 6 prominent features, and so does Actionstep, but those features are different. So Clio does have time and expense tracking, which is really important for revenue generation and revenue tracking. Clio does have billing and invoicing. So this, again, trying to streamline the whole revenue generation process. Clio does have document management, albeit not really sophisticated, but hey, listen, it is still something. They do have time tracking. So here we're speaking about the productivity of your lawyers, not just vis-a-vis billing customers, but just internal for, like, let's say performance evaluation, productivity and performance evaluation. You have task management, and then you also have vendor client portal within Clio. Of course, we're speaking here about the features, the prominent features you can see within Clio. What about Actionstep? Basically, you also have 6 features, but those features are slightly different. You have, of course, you have document management, you have task management, you have billing and invoicing, you have contract management, you have expense management, and you have time tracking. So if we were to look at the 6 prominent features that either tool has, the only difference here are contract management and expense management. So basically, contract management, so here we're speaking about you managing the entire life cycle of a client's, of a contract through Actionstep, something you can't do within Clio. Same thing for expense management. Now, one might say, well, you are able to track expenses through time and expense tracking. It's not the same thing, because time and expense tracking that you have in Clio, that's for the client-facing attorneys, so to see if the attorney is profitable or not. But the expense management I'm talking about here, this is for an internal analysis. Okay, this is something that Clio doesn't have, but Actionstep has it. And so this is for, like, let's say you want to produce financial statements for your law firm. Yeah, like you want to produce a P&L, a profit and loss statements. You want to produce a balance sheet. You want to produce a statement of cash flow. You want to produce a statement of owner's equity. Then that expense management will be really helpful to you. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I did a quick Clio versus Actionstep compare and contrast. I hope that with all the explanation, you'll be able to make a decision as to what's important for you and which one will actually win. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.